Hey YouTube, what's going on? Just wanted to bring you a quick video to take a look at the ZT-0200, a knife that's been discontinued for quite a few years now, and I've seen some other people have done reviews on this post being discontinued. However, most of the content that I've seen is from people who just have this as part of their collection. I'm someone who still carries this on a regular basis, so we're just going to take a look at, has it held up, how does it compare to some other knives, and is it still worth having today in 2023. So here's the ZT-0200. And a lot of people are probably familiar with the 0300 series, which is the speed safe, where when you flick it open, it actually helps assist the opening. It's not a fully automatic knife, but it's an assisted opening. Whereas this one is completely manual, and it's got a very large, heavy blade in it. Meaning, so if I go like that, it does not come out very well. So I usually have to kind of rotate my hand back in order to get this thing to fully flip open. If I use the tab, however, most of the time I just use that thumb stud right there. It comes out nice and solid. It's got a great thumb stud on it, as you can see, nice and thick. And yes, this is a big heavy knife, and this isn't meant to be a full-on review. You can go see good reviews on Metal Complex and some other channels like that. This is just intended to be a look at the knife years after being discontinued. So the reason I still carry this, and I don't care about it being big or heavy, I use the thing. So when I'm outside, I'm using it. When I'm working in the yard, I'm using it. One of the big reasons is because of the blade shape. Normally, if you have just a standard drop point blade that comes down like so and carries all the way forward, what I tend to run into is when something is stubborn to cut and I'm really struggling and it's not wanting to get a good grip on whatever I'm trying to cut, whether it's rope or it could even be some type of weed I'm trying to cut down or whatever. This right here, this is a recurve blade, and see how it comes down and then goes back up. I can get something right in this point right here where it goes down into the bottom part of its belly and starts to go back up, and I get it in there and I can cut it against it like that. And I mean, I can pretty much cut just about anything. This is not being speed safe means that I can easily disassemble this. And as you can see, if I can get on camera here, you can see I've disassembled this plenty of times. And this is actually fairly new hardware, is the crazy part. ZT still carries some of this hardware that you can get for this, even though it's discontinued. So I actually had them send this out probably a year or two ago, some new hardware, because mine was just so bad, in bad shape. And I've already scratched it up quite a bit, but it's pretty simple. I can simply just unscrew these with Torx screws right here out really easily. And I'm not going to go too deep into that right now, but it's a really easy uninstall. It's a really easy disassemble is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm able to get in there. I tend to clean it out, lube everything up, and I even usually take my spacers and my scales and everything else, and I wash them all down, get them all clean so everything's looking good. So, and I haven't done that in a little bit, but I can clean this. I can keep good maintenance of it. And the reason I bring this up is because something like the ZT-0301, which is a grail knife for me, I'd love to have it. However, I just don't think that it's going to have the longevity of being put through abuse like I've been able to give to this knife, and for it to still be in this kind of condition. The 0301 or 0300 series, the 0301 is just a certain version of the color wave. But the 0300 series with that speed safe, in my opinion, is very difficult to disassemble and to properly maintain on a regular basis. I can maintain this knife very easily with no issues whatsoever. I can keep up with it. As you can see, I'm still able to keep perfect centering after all these years. The knife holds up. It's got a thick spine on it right there. So, as you can see, it's still in great shape, and I use this a ton. I actually use my knife. I got this, I don't know, a few years back on the secondhand market, and it had already been used at that point. And I got it and said, you know what? this is the knife that I'm going to really just do whatever I want with it. I'm going to use my knife. It's not going to be a save queen whatsoever, and it's not going to be a knife that just sits in my pocket either. Whenever I need a knife, I just want to use it. So that's what I do, and it is absolutely held up. So the blade steel is actually 154 cm, and I've got to say that is probably my favorite blade steel. Better than S30V. I think when you start getting into the S30V, S35VN, all this different stuff, the blade steels start to get brittle. And just for the tasks that I use them for, it's just a bit too difficult for me. I've had too many issues with Spyderco tips breaking off and whatnot. I like a thick spine and 154 cm. It's a nice neutral blade steel that's good everywhere but not great anywhere. I don't care nearly as much about the knife staying sharp all the time when I have to give up other qualities of the knife in order for that edge retention. So, and I'm not some big knife reviewer or anything. I'm not as heavy in it as some of you guys, but I just wanted you to see, for anybody that's interested in still looking at the ZT-0200, or if you're just curious, maybe you sold one off a long time ago and you're curious, hey, are they still holding up? This is one of those knives that's holding the test of time. This is one of those knives where you can count on. I've been able to count on. I'm still going to get many, many more years of use out of this. And though I do have a collection of knives, this is my go-to. This is my heavy user. This is the one that I can trust in and that I'm not afraid to abuse, and I know that it will handle the task. It sharpens pretty easily, being 154 cm. Now, of course, it's not going to sharpen as easy as a cheap blade steel, like AUG 8 or something like that. But it's got better qualities than that. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this knife does hold true to being built tough. It's still a great knife. I still enjoy this on a regular basis. I still get excited to show it off because I know it is a special knife. And yeah, I love this knife and just wanted to show it to you. Thanks for watching.